Hello students, myself Dr. Sachin Kapur and I wish you a very warm welcome to this session of zoology lectures. The topic of our discussion today is epithelial tissue or epithelium. Now, as you can see, epithelial tissue originates from all the three germ layers, ectoderm, mesoderm as well as endoderm. That means certain epithelia in our body are ectodermal in origin, like the epithelium of the skin. Certain epithelial cells are endodermal in origin, like the innermost lining of the blood vessels, the simple squamous epithelium, that is endothelium of the blood vessels. Epithelial tissue we can broadly categorize into covering and lining epithelium and glandular epithelium. Now, when we say covering and lining epithelium, that means it forms the outermost covering of our body, that is the outermost layer of the skin, and also covers the exposed part of the eyeball. Glandular epithelium forms glands. Now, when we say gland can be a single cell also. Gland is any cell or tissue which is secretory in nature. So, covering and lining epithelium either covers the outermost part of the body, that is skin, or it forms the lining of the hollow organs. That's why we call it lining epithelium, like the innermost lining of your alimentary canal, innermost lining of your blood vessels. Covering and lining epithelium is further divided into two categories, simple epithelium and compound epithelium. Simple epithelium is also called unilayered epithelium. Compound epithelium is multilayered or stratified. Now, when we say unilayered, that means it has single layer of cells, and when we say stratified, that means it has multiple layers of cells. It's obvious. The epithelium which has multiple layers is more suitable for protection. So, the compound epithelium is more suitable for protection. The single layered epithelium is suitable for filtration of the substances, that is by diffusion, the absorption of the substances. So, at all those places where we require filtration, absorption, there we have the simple epithelium. Depending on the shape of the cells, the simple epithelium is further divided into three types. If the cells are flat, like the tiles of a floor, it is called squamous. So, squamous means flat. If the cells are cube-shaped, we call it cubical epithelium. If the cells are tall and column-shaped, we call it columnar epithelium. Similarly, the compound epithelium is also divided into three types. If the cells are flat, it is squamous. Now, here we actually observe the shape of the upper layers of the cells, the topmost layers of the cells. If they are squamous, it is stratified squamous. If they are cuboidal, it is stratified cuboidal, and if they are columnar, it is stratified columnar. As you can see this diagram, I have shown simple columnar epithelium. Now, you can see when we say simple, that means it has single layer of cells. These cells, they rest on a basement membrane, which we have shown with blue color. Below that is the connective tissue. Here with the red color I have shown blood vessels. Please remember, blood vessels do not penetrate into the epithelial cells. So that's why we say that the epithelial cells are avascular. When we use the word avascular, that means without blood supply. Let's discuss the important features of epithelium. The first feature is that is the epithelial cells are avascular. So when I say avascular, it means without blood supply. If they do not have blood supply, how do they get nutrition? They get nutrition by diffusion. Oxygen and nutrients, they simply diffuse from the nutrient source. Second feature is that they rest on a basement membrane. Basement membrane is made up of glycoproteins, it has collagen fibers. So here with the blue color we have shown basement membrane. Another important feature is epithelial cells, they have definite polarity. They have apical surface, as we have shown here, this is the apical surface. They have a definite lateral surface and a basal surface. The basal surface faces the basement membrane. Epithelial cells have high regeneration ability. They divide by mitosis. They have high regeneration ability. They can repair themselves easily. Little or no intercellular material. That means the adjacent epithelial cells. Say this is one epithelial cell, this is another epithelial cells. There is very little or no extracellular material between the two adjacent cells, and the cells are connected by definite cell junctions. We'll discuss the different types of cell junctions, like the tight junctions. There are certain junctions which allow the communication between the cells, the flow of certain ions. They are called gap junctions. We have anchoring junctions also, which connect the epithelial cells with the extracellular matrix. Now, as we have written here, that simple epithelium is further of three types: squamous, cuboidal and columnar. One more thing, students, please remember, epithelial cells, they have rich nerve supply. Nerve supply is present. Blood supply is not there in the epithelial cells. Now, let's discuss the different types of epithelia, that is squamous, cuboidal and columnar. So, we'll draw the diagram for simple squamous epithelium. Now, when we say squamous, that means the cells are flat. When viewed from the apical surface, the simple squamous epithelial cells, they appear like the tiles of a floor. So here I am showing the simple squamous epithelium, the top view of the cells. This view is what? Top view of the cells. It's also called pavement epithelium. The simple squamous epithelium is also called pavement epithelium. If we look from side, the side view of the cells appear like this. This is side view of the simple squamous epithelial cells. The membrane is wavy. It's also called tessellated epithelium. Where is this simple squamous epithelium present? Simple squamous epithelium, it is present in the alveoli of lungs for diffusion of gases. It forms the innermost lining of the blood vessels, lymph vessels, and there it is called endothelium. It also forms the innermost lining of the heart, and there it is called endocardium. It is also present in the Bowman's capsule. Bowman's capsule is present in the nephrons, which are the functional units of the kidney. So that was squamous epithelium. Next is cuboidal epithelium. When we say cuboidal, that means the cells, they are cube shaped. We are saying simple, that means there is single layer of cube shaped cells. This is the basement membrane. This cuboidal epithelium, it is present in the follicles of thyroid gland. Thyroid gland is the largest endocrine gland which secretes thyroxine hormone. It's present in the neck region. It is also present in the proximal convoluted tubule of nephrons, PCT of the nephrons. It's also present in the pigmented layer of retina and even in the ovary. There we call it surface epithelium or the germinal epithelium. Now please remember that in case of proximal convoluted tubule of the nephrons, the cuboidal epithelial cells have microvilli at their apical surface. These microvilli increase the absorptive surface area. This structure is what? PCT of the nephron. This is what? It is Bowman's capsule of the nephron. So I am saying that the cuboidal epithelium in the PCT has microvilli at the apical surface. This increases the absorptive surface area. Because of presence of microvilli, we use the term brush bordered. So if you are asked a question, where is brush bordered cuboidal epithelium present? It is in the proximal convoluted tubule of the nephrons. Next is columnar epithelium, the tall column shaped cells. This diagram is of the simple columnar epithelial cells. As you can see, the nucleus is towards the basal surface. Nucleus is not in the center, it is towards the basal surface. Simple columnar epithelium, it is present in the lining of the alimentary canal in your stomach. In case of small intestine, the columnar epithelial cells, they have microvilli at their apical surface, as we can show here in this diagram. These are microvilli. these increase the absorptive surface area. So that is brush bordered columnar epithelium in the small intestine to enhance the absorptive surface area. So that was about simple columnar epithelium, simple cuboidal epithelium and simple squamous epithelium. Let's discuss stratified epithelium. When we say stratified, that means the cells are multi-layered. Multi-layered cells, they are more suitable for what? They are more suitable for protection. Stratified epithelium, it is further of different types. Stratified squamous, stratified cuboidal and stratified columnar. Let's first discuss stratified squamous. The stratified squamous can be further of two types, keratinized and non-keratinized. In case of keratinized epithelium, the cells of the superficial layers have a protein called keratin. Keratin is tough, fibrous, waterproof protein. If the cells of the topmost layers do not have keratin, we call it non-keratinized epithelium. Now in this diagram, you can see I have shown multiple layers. So that means it is stratified. The cells are squamous, they are flat. Now please remember that as the cells move away from the nutrient source, the cells, they dehydrate, they shrink, they lose their nucleus and other organelles. Finally, they die and they detach from the superficial layer. That means in case of stratified epithelium, cells of the superficial layers are constantly lost. As I said, it can be of two types. If the keratin protein is present, it is called what? Keratinized epithelium. If keratin protein is absent, it is called non-keratinized epithelium. So the stratified squamous epithelium with the keratin protein is present in skin. New cells are constantly formed from the basal layer and they move towards the superficial layer. So that means the outermost layer of the skin has stratified squamous epithelium and the cells are keratinized. There is constant loss of the cells. Your skin is constantly losing the cells. Now because they are microscopic, so you cannot see them. Keratin is a tough and waterproof protein, as I said, but still the skin appears soft. Why? Because your skin also has sweat glands and oil glands. Second is the stratified columnar epithelium, which has multiple layers of columnar epithelial cells. The superficial cells are the columnar. The cells in the basal layers, they are generally cuboidal or squamous. Stratified columnar is a rare type of epithelium and it is present in anal mucosa. Similarly, the stratified cuboidal epithelium is also a rare type of epithelium and it is present in the ducts of large glands. The simple cuboidal is present in the ducts of small glands. Remember, the stratified cuboidal is present in the ducts of large glands like pancreas or the ducts of the liver. There is another type of epithelium that is called pseudo-stratified columnar. Pseudo word in biology means false. Now when we say pseudo-stratified columnar, in this, the cells are not in multiple layers. They give a false appearance of being multi-layered. Cells are of different height. It appears to be multi-layered, but actually it is not. It doesn't have multiple layers of cells. The pseudo-stratified columnar appears to be multi-layered, but actually it is not. The cells are of different height. Nuclei are at different location. That's why it gives a false appearance of being multi-layered. And it is present where? It is present in trachea, your respiratory tract. Another special type of epithelium, that is transitional epithelium, it is present in the urinary tract, that is in the bladder. It stretches, the bladder stretches when it fills up with urine. So the cells, they are cube shaped, but when they are stretched, they appear to be squamous. Sensory epithelium, that is the specialized columnar epithelial cells, as in case of organ of Corti, which is present in ear. It is the actual sense organ for hearing. The taste buds also have the taste receptors or the gustatory receptors, which are modified columnar epithelial cells. So that was about the epithelial tissue. In a nutshell, we have seen that epithelium can be classified into covering and lining epithelium and glandular epithelium. We will discuss about glandular epithelium in our coming lectures.